Hey, this is Paul Cardullo for Gruesome Magazine, and I'm here with our very own Doc Rotten, and we're going to talk about the film Happy Hunting, which we caught recently at the GenreBlast Film Festival. How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing good. Let's talk about an interesting film that it's listed as horror, but I'm not really certain it is.
Okay, well, before we get into it, can you give us a quick rundown of what exactly the GenreBlast Film Festival is?
Oh, wow. So GenreBlast Film Festival is a really cool festival that's held in Northern Virginia, over in Winchester. It's the second year where we saw Happy Hunting. The venue moved to the Alamo Draft House, which was a great venue for this. But GenreBlast is much like its name. It's about genres. Now, horror films play a big part of it, but for films that we would cover, but they also have a large variety of sci-fi, some fantasy, some comedy, some action films, a couple WTF films, and a real nice blend of genres. And it is so much fun. It is a great festival. If you're in the area or want to go to the area, I encourage you to check it out next year.
Very cool. Well, you mentioned Happy Hunting was listed as horror, but we're not quite. So you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, well, if you were to kind of line it up next to a film, you would line it up to like Most Dangerous Game. And I guess some people call Most Dangerous Game a horror film. You know, it's basically where a group of people will send somebody out into the wild or another group of people out into the wild, and they will hunt them. Happy Hunting. Yes, you get this. This is what happens. Now, the lead up to it is very much not in that realm at all. It's very much a crime drama at that point. There's this guy, Martin Dingle Wall, plays Warren Novak, who is he's kind of an addict fellow, and he's well, his motivations are a little sketchy, but he ends up encountering a group of drug dealers, and it goes sour, and he ends up killing them and running off with their goods, and he gets chased by a number of them, a particularly tall, bald-headed guy who is very imposing, and his nephew, son / younger hoodlum guy. I don't know if I really caught it, but it was interesting. So they end up in a small town in the Southwest, somewhere out there in the desert, and they get caught up in what is basically a Most Dangerous Game scenario, where the town kidnaps them and one other fellow that they don't know. So it's four of them sitting out there, and they're sent out and being chased by what starts out as three groups of killers, I guess, if you want to put it in the horror genre, and then things go, south for both sides quickly.
In terms of for horror fans, is there is it action oriented horror? Is there gore? What kind of things can horror fans expect from this?
Yeah, it's very action oriented horror. Real quick, it's directed by Joe Dietsch and Louie Gibson, if I pronounced either of their names right. And if I haven't, forgive me. There's nothing supernatural about it. It's very much in that Most Dangerous Game killers kind of thing. And there is gore because people get killed, and it's pretty graphic. And most horror fans will quite enjoy that. And so it lacks the tension, the scares. There's nothing scary. And the mixed motivations don't necessarily put you on the side of Warren Novak, Martin Dingle Wall's character either. So, but he's a good actor, and he makes it fun. So that helps the movie keep going along. One thing I want to mention before we get too far into this is that there's this really huge misstep this film kind of does with a missed opportunity. It feels like it's intentional, but I don't know if it works in their favor. There's the guy I was telling you, the big, tall, bald, imposing fellow. They end up being chased by these people, and they end up kind of having to team up, and there's still this conflict, and there's a really interesting conflict between the two, because they have to, at this point, they would have to work side by side to survive, and instead of capitalizing on that and benefiting from that, they off one of them right then and there. And spoilers, but that's the point is I think that's a big of a mid-step and doesn't work in the film's favor.
Well, can you wrap it up for us and give us your score, your favorite scene, and your final thoughts?
Overall, outside the big misstep, the film succeeds in a lot of other ways. It keeps moving. It's pretty well paced. The cinematography is really good. It really kind of lives and breathes in the scenery in the town and the Southwest. And you like the lead character, Martin Dingle Wall. I just like to say his name. I'm gonna say it one more time. Martin Dingle Wall. You get on their side enough to follow the film through. I would give it a 2.75. And my favorite scene, probably is because it's so damn silly, is there's one group so there's three groups that are after Martin Dingle Wall. I just had to say his name one more time. And one of the groups is a husband and wife team. And they corner him. And all he has is his coat. He really doesn't have much. And they have a bat in the car, and they want to, just bash him. And that's their MO. And so they end up with what is basically a bullfighting kind of scenario where the car and the wife with the bat is the bull, and he with his coat is the bullfighter, and it doesn't turn out well for anybody out of the three, and it's really a lot of fun. Creative way of handling a certain, I guess, death scene.
Well, okay. Well, thanks for your thoughts on that. And you ready to say goodnight, Doc?
Good night.
Be sure to visit GruesomeMagazine.com to listen to the other Gruesome podcasts, Hard News Radio, and Decades of Horror. Also, check out the Gruesome Magazine Quarterly, available in digital and print-on-demand format. Gruesome Magazine.